Today's lectionary calls us to consider the story of Thomas in the Gospel of John. The story has given Thomas a bad reputation. The world remembers him as Doubting Thomas, and that title is readily applied to anyone who wavers in conviction. One might ask, is this story simply a lesson teaching us not to doubt? Do not most of us have doubts when evidence is scanty? Might there be something more to be gotten from the story of Thomas? Our search begins in the second book of Kings with Zedekiah. In 586 before the Common Era, Zedekiah, the last of the kings of Judah succeeding King David, was held captive in his own throne room by the invading Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. Every possible candidate in line for the throne of David, his every male descendant, was rounded up, and before Zedekiah's very eyes, each was put to the sword. Considering that there were 400 years of generations since David, that massacre must have been enormous. Next, Zedekiah's eyes were gouged out, and he was forced to walk in chains to Babylon, where he died in prison. Why did Nebuchadnezzar commit such atrocity as this? Because not only did he want Zedekiah out of his way, but through those 400 years since King David, the legend had spread throughout the Jewish people that a king anointed in David's lineage would one day rise up and rule, spreading justice and peace, and of course, eliminating invading rulers like Nebuchadnezzar. Most likely Nebuchadnezzar would not have bought this story, but he sensed that the people were committed to it. And committed people are always a threat in the eyes of a tyrant. The legend of the Anointed One yet to come continued in earnest among the exiles in Babylon. Why wouldn't it? When conditions become unbearable in a community, don't people often dream of a power beyond them to step up and bring relief? The Jews exiled in Babylon ached to return home. Stories spread that the prophet Elijah might appear. Could he be the Anointed One? The legend reformatted itself with each generation. Elijah came to be thought of as the advanced messenger of a saving person who would suddenly appear, a savior. The savior came to be thought of as God's special agent. In time, people would eventually speak of this Savior as one endowed with divine attributes and supernatural powers. The prophet Daniel had a dream of this person as a son of man rising up out of the sea, an anointed one who participated in the very essence of the eternal God.